Hey, Srushti, Miss Potterhead. How are you?
I'm good. I say, how are you?
Well, a little
Missed
bit.
you.
Oh, it's a good start. I'm a bit tired, a bit overworked, full stomach, but we actually can jump straight in because I know that you, just as me, were watching some of the movies of Harry Potter. And actually, on the 1st of January, HBO is releasing this, how they call it, Harry Potter 20th anniversary return to Hogwarts, where I saw that some actors and movie makers, yeah, getting together, having some activities in a great hall. Remembering the movie. I think it's going to be a really nice and very warm, cozy event. And because we're both, I would say, big fans of Harry Potter, the books and the movies, it would be nice just to kind of share our memories and our, uh, you know, favorite maybe parts, characters, some things that are still hanging in the head. I know that you've been in general quite exploring how J.K. Rowling was writing this story. Maybe let's touch a bit that.
Yeah, sure. First of all, uh, I want to tell you, I say every time I speak to you, I get all nostalgic. You really take me back in memory lane. Like, oh wow, I just reach a different cloud, like not ninth cloud, maybe above it. And I get like so many downloads in my head, like what I would like to speak, and it's really nice bringing up the old topics. So yes, J.K. Rowling's and Harry Potter. Very interestingly, I remember I was in grade 8 when the first movie had come out, and that was the first time our parents gave me, my friend, and our little brothers who were like in grade 2 uh, to go and watch the movie all by ourselves. So this is really memorable because this was the first time we went out to watch a movie, and they let us go because they're like, okay, kids movie, and it was so much out in the news. They're like, okay, go do your thing, and the mothers they were like chilling in coffee places around the theater. So fond memories of when I watched the movie the first time, and also because I'm an English teacher, and I've done my course, like I've done the teacher certification course, which is called CELTA from British Council. So every time we had like a different tutor coming, they would always say that J.K. Rowling used to teach in the British Council,
Ooh.
and she was an English teacher. Yeah. So it made me feel really special. Like, wow, like I'm kind of sharing something with J.K. Rowling. Obviously, I share the fantasy and the imagination part, but no comparison to what she did with it. But yes, J.K. Rowling. So that made me think more about like what did she do, how was her life, and very inspirational, I would say. Do you know stuff about J.K. Rowling since you're in Europe?
I did not deep dive that much into her own biography. I know a few pieces. Also, we were planning well, next week to go to Edinburgh, where I know that she was um writing some pieces of the books. And also, I've heard that Edinburgh's some of the places are very well showcasing the mood of Harry Potter. So I was intrigued. However, we can't do that due to variety of things happening right now in the world and health and viruses. But I found it also intriguing, because when I was watching the movies and reading the books, I found fascinating how many different names and absolutely wonderful, namings for the magic tricks, for the names of the characters, or even like it's a deep well of many different words. How she was able to reach it. Apparently, she was studying Latin at some point of her life, and so many names were born from that. But also, when she was in general and throughout her life, whenever she heard something sounding interesting, she used to write on a notebook. And I'm sure throughout life, you can collect so many words that later you just open it and okay, this is going to be the name of this character, this is going to be the name of this curse, this is going to be this. It's like she already like was moving towards, let's say, this masterpiece eventually, because she had so many details which she needed to glue together to come with a story. So I don't know in depth so much about her, but well, the story as well, the books reflect so well her big work, and maybe we can. I'm not sure if you have your favorite scenes there or characters, but I, even now, a few days back, I was rewatching some of the scenes, and for me, always makes me cry. It's probably one of the most tearful scenes for me is where Severus Snape, he's dying. Remember where Voldemort and the snake Nagini, they basically kill him. Harry Potter comes, and then of course Snape is mentioning this, you have your mother's eyes. I always break at that point. I'm like full of tears, and how he's saying to Harry Potter, just, take my tears to this little flacon, and later he uses them to see his memories, his life, actually how he was, because we all grow watching, like from first series, that Snape looks very manipulative and like is a bad person. He's hiding something. And, this character you kind of don't really like because he's also bullying Harry Potter and things like that. And then eventually you understand how deep the character is and how he dedicates his life to protect the child of the woman he loves. However, the father of this child is also a bully whom I'm sure he has no love at all. Is like, for me, the complexity of the character and the beauty, how slowly it was revealed, like onion by onion, I found it amazing. Did you, is it one of your characters as well, maybe favorite or likable, was Severus Snape or not?
Snape was very cold, yeah, at the beginning, yeah. But then, yes, as you're telling that you start developing this compassion and you understand that no one turns just cold, something's happened to them, they have been heartbroken and stuff, and then they are the product of all these things that happen to them. So, yeah, Professor Snape, yeah. I used to love Hagrid, the uncle, the big one.
Yes.
He just like full of love and fun and uh, not well kept, like don't know when he took a shower. So I used to really like him.
Like one of the wild
And
boys.
yeah. But I didn't look at him as a boy. I looked at him as like my uncle. But he even Ron, I like Ron. He's very cute with the red hair and bulging eyes. So very
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love these, the main characters, these three, so Hermione, Ron, and Harry. I don't even mention them among my favorites because I think they're like the leads. So one way or another, you are like one of these buddies together with them. But like these side characters, like Hagrid as well, as you mentioned, like for me, he's so funny because he's like a child. He really can't keep a secret. Like he kind of keeps on telling something. Oh, I really can't tell this. And then he slurps it. And then, like for me, it's like, is very beautiful, very naive character. But, also I found, do you remember there was this house elf, Dobby? I think his name was Dobby. Yes, I'm almost sure.
The big eyes, the cute one.
Yeah, big eyes, super honest,
Uh,
very protective, very
like
nice.
the
Yeah, he was working for Malfoy, the bad family. Basically, he was really mistreated. And I remember he used to be always like, like very, I don't know, like very. You want to save him as soon as you can. And for me, also, really beautiful scene was when, if I recall well, so Harry was returning some book. Well, it was Tom Riddle's diary to this Lucius Malfoy. And in that book, he put a sock. So when Lucius was like, okay, thank you for the book, and he gives it back to the Dobby to carry because it's a heavy book. And that's how Dobby receives the cloth, because once the owner gives you the cloth, that means he's setting you free. So that was a sneaky way to set him free. But I don't know, I felt like it was such a cute and like very naughty way to free him, and he was so happy. And I remember that story also in a very, very lights.
True, definitely. For me, nothing beats the first movie, like the feeling that you get, because the first time you're watching something like this, and when they go on the station and they get to reach the platform, they get into the wall, that one really like gets me. And even the staircase, like the staircase they join, and the frames, the characters are actually moving and talking. Nothing can beat that.
No, it's true. It's
The
like
first time watching this.
it's amazing how she was able to, with the first already movie, to set such a big piece of magic. Like, I mean, you live in a normal world, and I think that's why also Harry Potter was so amazing, because she created a totally different world with everything, like, you know, everything thought through, like all the details are there, and all the details are so different from the real world. However, she also found the connection that there is a real world where us muggles live, and then there is like some sort of, you know, dimensions where you can pass, and then you are, hello, in the witches and all the magic world. And you're right that this first movie showcasing so many little details, which I think that's how they just tempt you in, and that's it forever. You have to watch all the other you know, sequences, and follow I don't know, whatever else is happening, and read the books, and like keep on boiling in this world, kind of trying to wait for something else to come, because it's hard to let it go. I mean, you keep on rewatching probably the same.
Yeah. And what surprises me is that she has used all these characters from her real life inspirations. Like her grandmother, Freddie was very annoying. So the aunt, Harry Potter's aunt, Martha, built like after her
Oh,
grandmother.
really?
And for herself, she is a lot like Hermione. So she is a lot like her. She feels that her character is her. And Harry Potter himself was a boy she used to play with that lived on the same street. I think
Wow.
Ellie or something his name was. So she gets all this from real life inspirations and she makes it into these lovely books. And in fact, the first time she felt that she used to write this book was her train ride when she was on a 4 hour train ride, but she didn't have any paper, pen, or maybe during that time we didn't have the smartphones. She just wanted to like note them out, and she describes it as she was like ecstatic. She was so excited, every nerve in her body. She wanted to just write it down. And then she got back home, she wrote it down, and the most weird part is many of the publishers they just didn't take her work, so they rejected. They're like, this is like it's like witchcraft, and I don't know people will accept it. It's probably hurting some of the religion sentiments, but just look at that. Something that was totally rejected gets accepted to a point where I think the last book, when it published, the seventh book, right? In 24 hours, 11 million copies sold.
My
So
God.
like it was
Really?
so crazy in
Wow.
24 hours just. Yeah.
Wow. Have you bought the books?
I did all of them, but because I moved so many different countries now, we had to give it away at different places.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking to buy those books soon, maybe someday, again
My
for my
solution,
daughter.
you know, my solution to carry the books always is Kindle. So I read all the books in Kindle, and I think some of, well, I think first parts I read multiple times. I don't know why. Sometimes, you know, like comes this, like you're lying down in the bed and you're like, oh, I just want to escape from this gray rain and, you know, dark clouds, and you want to kind of transform yourself into another world. It's like, it's so easy. The books are so well written, like it switches the imagination immediately, and you have all this, you know, world. I love it. I love traveling. And actually the funny part was that how, you know, people try to bring from the book something back to real life, like the game Quidditch. Remember they used to play in school, this Quidditch
Yeah.
championship, and I mean it's super cool game, like really fun. Apparently there are, like, you know, now set like kind of associations or organizations where they actually gather and play Quidditch. So I don't know fully the rules, but they still have the broomstick in between their legs, and they have to run with balls. I mean, they have also these big scoops, and I think the principle is very similar. It's just that you're not flying because you're, well, I guess not able yet. And at some point, I remember when COVID was still there, but I was like at one point trying to explore, and I saw that in Barcelona there was also a group who play Quidditch. So I would love to try it. I
Mm.
mean, I think it would be so much fun, at least a little bit, you know, like kind of, maybe I'm in Hogwarts school now and I'm playing Quidditch, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
So
True. Amazing. Yeah. It made me study more also. I still remember like I was in school. So like them with their big books and their big robes and moving. So like in school, I would feel like like if I'm reading the book the last night or watch the movie, it will be there at least for a few weeks, like being in the character. And I have my big books and I want to study. So it kind of worked for my study life also.
Yeah. Did you ever try though, I don't know, in real life, to kind of replicate the magic words, or like sometimes I used to tease my brother, oh, Lumos, or like whatever, Alamora, to open the doors. Did you kind of also carry that part?
Yeah, I did with my brother, obviously, because if I would show it somewhere else, they'd think I'm mad. But yes, with my brother. And you know what? It's still maybe in a way stuck to me because I'm into like meditation and you make your own life and mindfulness. So I kind of when I meditate or when I lose something at home, I can't find it.
I
I'm
lose
kind of I sit like
mind.
this and kind of imagine and this that I kind of do that stuff because uh, it's quite the opposite. As my age is increasing, I'm believing more in magic and like getting what you ask for, and all these, like there's energy and there's frequency everywhere. You just need to catch it.
How
I think the
interesting.
magic is like not dead, it's like going more up exponentially.
Yeah, no, totally. And just curious, I mean, Harry Potter was super popular probably all around the world. As far as, I mean, I can only speak more for Europe, but in India, was there also like kind of, I would say, very strong following, very big popularity of the movies and books, or maybe culturally it was a bit different from like what you have around you, so it was not so well taken? I don't know, I'm just speculating.
Well, when the movie had come, I was in Dubai. So in Dubai, obviously, it was much more celebrated like any international place. But in India, I was in India when the last book came out,
Mhm.
and there were like headlines everywhere saying that the book is going to come and that the kids are like standing in the line to do their bookings for the book, and that some kids, when they got the book and it's like this thick, right, the book, they finished it. They finished reading it within a day. They were that crazy kids who were like fast readers, obviously, and they finished it. Like they just got the book, they sat with it for 24 hours, they finished reading it in a day. I'm so
Mhm.
excited. So, see, there are people who love literature everywhere. Yeah, maybe the demographics in India might, because it's a big country, right? Not so obvious, but in Pune, especially where there's so much of intellect and literature, and people appreciate all these forms of art, it
Mhm.
was quite a thing in
Mm.
Pune.
That's nice. It's nice to hear because I've heard exactly as you said, in most of the places, before the book is even released, so many queues and lines. And then when the kids get their hands on the book, they don't sleep in that night until they finish. And it's a fat book. It's impressive how with a story that is interesting enough, you can make youth read again. Well, I'm sure it's just kind of saying a bit that youth maybe is reading less these days. I think with right books, they are as interested in books as probably any other generation. So I find it really, really, really intriguing. Um, just thinking more again on the remembering some of the scenes. Do you have any more scenes where you felt I know strongly touched by anything that comes to your head that this is from Harry Potter and this is still here somewhere?
Yeah, I do remember like two scenes. One is the mirror where he looks into the mirror and his mom and dad are on either side, and his mom touches him.
Mm,
But she's not there, right? It's in the mirror. Although he's there, he can see her touching her, feeling for her. You can feel the love of the parents of this child who is lost at a very young age and all alone.
yeah.
But when you look here, she's not there. Like, that thing. Oh my God, I really feel touched even now. And another one is when they show baby Harry and he gets that mark and he's there like the baby kid one, that part. And this line really used to bring tears to my eye. It will bring now also. I won't get very emotional. It says that you can come back anytime. J.K. Rowling said this in a speech and she was all teary. You can come back anytime and Hogwarts will always be there to welcome you. And it felt like, oh my God, the end of such a beautiful, like the phase in history, where all these books came up one by one. Some of the books came out after 3 years, but that journey is ended. Like you really felt it's ended, and
Yeah.
that you can only go back to these books which were, but uh, nothing from here forward. And there's no other. What do you think? There's no other book that kids are so crazy about after Harry Potter.
Mm.
Like no series have still come up. It's Hunger Games. I heard a little bit, but that's also like it's not
It didn't reach that much
as
level. It's
crazy.
a bit more for teens, I would say. Hunger Games, a bit more
Mhm.
teenage audience. I don't know, to be honest. No, I cannot think of any other book that would have reached the same amount of, popularity and the interest. And no matter what country you go through, like everybody knows Harry Potter is like that iconic. So for me, as just to build on what you were saying, like, okay, the story is let's say ended. Now still Hogwarts is there, and people who missed that place, they go to read the books, they rewatch the movies. I still feel like there is very big community, like around of Harry, or how do they call it, Potterheads, with whom you can very easy, start a conversation and, go deep inside anything you remember. It's like, it's bonding us. These stories are bonding us. And I also like this idea, idea in the stories itself as well, that it's not just, let's say one solo hero going through the world and saving it. Actually, it's such a strong community there, that the Hogwarts army, let's say, which was there for each other, defending each other, protecting. And Harry Potter would not have been able to do anything on his own, no matter how strong he was. He needed the friends, he needed the backup of all the other people who believed in him. And I find this message very strongly coming through the books and the movies, which is a very beautiful message, very important one. It's not like, just believe in yourself and you can do whatever you want alone. Actually, that's a bit different here.
Yeah, definitely. It shows that how much you need people to be what you are. It's not like you're a self-made one-man army. You always need people. No one can ever accomplish that. There's so much of life lessons in it, and like it's like up and down, up and down. It's because it's from her life, and she's been through so many emotional things and everything. Like with her parents and her husband and everything, that she's got all of it. She's poured it. She's poured her like reliving her childhood. That's what she says,
Mm,
that she tried this as an attempt to relive her childhood and make it resonate with every person. Like even if you watch it, you can find bits and pieces that that this is taken from your life. This is your struggle. This is what you feel. This is what you empathize with.
yeah.
So yeah,
No, it's true.
it's
The character
everyone.
is built in amazingly recognizable manner. And also, I guess in the end, it features the old as world theme of good versus evil, and is the topic which we go through different stages of our life, through different stages of our communities. And I guess it's also very close to our heart to explore, and then to show, like, how being together we can still fight it off, and what matters, the friendships, the support, the education, I mean, so many different pieces that stick together, and you just feel like how well it reflects your life, no matter that it's based in a quite a magical place with a lot of different habits and rituals and the way of workings of the world. But it's very I mean, it's brilliant. I'm thinking, and it was like, ugh, I want to go back to reading of the stories, because it's like gives me a lot of melancholic feelings.
I think the listeners who are listening also are going to feel like they need to read. And after the party, the reunion, it's going to even be more like, I think many masses of people are going to start reading again.
Yeah, totally. I'm kind of really waiting for that reunion. I hope it's not going to be super early of New Year. It's been streamed on the 1st of January, so I hope it's not going to be super early. So we wake up in the new year and we're like, oh, Harry Potter is back. So
Yeah.
just curious, do you?
We needed this. We needed this.
No, of course.
Sorry.
Just curious, do you already give your children to read the stories or not yet?
No, they're really young, 4 years old. So I don't think
Four.
she
Okay.
would be able to read. Yeah. But I can show her the movie. No problem. People used to not like it in the beginning because there was so much of death and dark stuff in it. But I think that's totally okay. I think we new parents know that it's okay. They need to know, the realities and of life and be strong from the beginning.
Yeah, it is how it is. World is not just flowers and roses and clouds. All right, so I think we had a bit of short time today, so it was great to catch up, to stir a bit of our memories and tickle a bit with, some things that we really like and love about the books and movies. And so happy to hear that a little bit piece of that will be coming back soon. Any ending thoughts, Srushti, on your side?
Yeah, I'd like to do a little act. Okay, I'm going to show you because you like Professor Snape, little Professor Snape.
Wow. The dead body coming back. Oh, but now that you said, you're almost like my favorite character. You are very much like Severus Snape with your haircut.
So now you love me even more.
I don't know if it's possible to love you more, but might be. No, but anyways, this is also a tribute to Severus Snape, whose actor, Alan Rickman, rest his soul. I think he's already passed away since last at least 4 or 5 years, I believe. So this is also our memory that he will never die as this character, and he left beautiful legacy as an actor, making this role. So our hearts go there. Yeah. So thanks a lot for joining. Great for a short catch up, and I hope you will, after the call, you will wear that hat which is hanging on the wall and send me some flamenco dance, because your dress is very flamenco.
Okay, I'll wear this hat, I'll hold this lantern, and I'll be like this.
Okay, I'll pose this
Dumbledore.
Okay, Srushti, have a great new year.
You too. Happy New Year, everybody who's watching this.
Happy New Year.